Hey and welcome. Today, we're going to break down a concept that, at first glance, sounds like a total contradiction. Online Montessori courses for toddlers and primary. I mean, how can a philosophy that's all about hands-on learning actually be taught through a screen? Well, let's dive in and find out. And that's the big question, right? Montessori is all about those tactile, physical materials, letting kids direct their own activity. So the whole idea of learning how to teach this way, online, it just seems like it wouldn't work. How do you possibly bridge that gap between a hands-on philosophy and a digital classroom? All right, so first things first, let's really tackle that online piece of the puzzle. How does a method that's so rooted in the physical world make that huge leap into the digital one? So let's just quickly get on the same page about what we're talking about. The core of the Montessori method, its whole foundation, is this idea of a prepared environment where kids get to engage directly with materials. It's that hands-on, self-directed approach that makes this idea of online training so, well, fascinating. So why even try this? Honestly, it all comes down to one word: access. In-person training is amazing, no doubt, but it's often held back by where you live and when you're free. The move to digital isn't about replacing that, not at all. It's about opening the doors to this knowledge for everyone, everywhere, offering flexibility that just wasn't possible before. Okay, so how does this actually work in practice? Let's get to the core idea of how these principles are translated for an online world. And here's the secret. The digital training isn't trying to replace hands-on practice. It's just not. Instead, it focuses on the absolute essentials, the foundation. You master the theory, you sharpen your observation skills, and you study these incredibly clear video demonstrations over and over. This lets you soak up the principles so you can then apply them in your own physical space. Next up, let's look at the part of our title that gets really specific about who this is for: toddlers and primary-aged kids. You see, Montessori education is broken down into these very distinct developmental stages, and these online courses, they're laser-focused on the two earliest, most formative ones: the toddler years, from birth to 3, and the primary years, from 3 to 6. So why that intense focus? Well, because modern science has basically proven what Maria Montessori was saying 100 years ago. The time from birth to age 6 is when a child's brain is developing at an absolutely explosive rate. She called it the absorbent mind, a time when kids just effortlessly soak up everything around them. Teaching this age group isn't just another job. It really requires a unique and deeply specialized set of skills. And finally, let's unpack that last key phrase: specialized training paths. This is important because we're not just talking about taking a random course here and there. This is about going on a real journey. A training path is so much more than just a class. Think of it as a complete structured journey. It's a whole curriculum designed from the ground up to take you from the very basics of the theory all the way to confidently applying it in the real world. The whole point is to build your knowledge systematically, piece by piece. So what does this journey actually look like? Well, it starts with mastering the theory. You gotta know the why behind everything. Then you move on to watching super detailed digital demos of all the materials. From there, you learn the actual art of observing a child. And only then do you start applying it all in a hands-on setting. It's a really logical and powerful sequence. Okay, so let's put all those pieces back together. Online Montessori courses, that gives us flexible global access. For toddlers and primary, that tells us it's specialized for the most critical years of development. And specialized training paths, that promises a complete structured journey from newbie to pro. See how it all clicks into place? So in the end, this isn't about a compromise at all. It's actually a pretty powerful combination. It's using technology to make this deep, specialized knowledge available to way more people than ever before, empowering them to become amazing educators for our youngest learners. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? This model is a brilliant solution for Montessori, but it brings up a much bigger question for education as a whole. As we keep moving forward, the real challenge is going to be finding that perfect, innovative mix of digital convenience and that absolutely irreplaceable hands-on human experience. So I'll leave you with this. What does that future look like to you?